Welcome back to my podcast. All right, guys, seriously, welcome back to my podcast review by Top Shelf Tammie. That's me, where I recommend books for you guys to read. I'm super excited this week, but I'm about to make y'all cry. I'm about to make y'all cry, and I'm sorry. Like, that's how the book's coming this week. I'm about to make y'all cry. So, jumping right in because we don't do nothing but review books around here. We have a fresh set of books. Last week was the cheat sheet episode, so this starts like our new series of books, and I'm super excited. And I got some tear jerkers for y'all. So we gonna definitely get right into what we came here to do, what we came here to do because we came here to talk about books. Okay, so our first book that I am going to do for you guys is a book. It's a new book. It's a new book. I don't think I have ever read this author before. And so I just kind of went on there and kind of Googled standalone books. And like this one popped up. I started reading it or whatever like that. And I thought it was really good. Like I said, it's a tear jerker. So I definitely wanted to bring it to you guys. So we're going to jump right in. And the name of this book is called Love Bomb, a Dark Urban Romance by Misha Mish. Oh, I take that back. So I have read some Misha Mish books before. I think she co-wrote a couple of the books. This may be my first time reading a book where she authored the book and wrote the book totally alone. But yeah, so I have read some of her books before. We are doing Love Bomb, a Dark Urban Romance by Misha Mish. All right, guys. And then I gave this book 4.5 stars. 4.5 stars. Yeah. So that's how I'm coming. That's how I'm coming this week. Real good. We got a real good lineup. So I gave this book 4.5 stars. The setting for this book, it said Texas. I don't think it said a city, but I went ahead and threw Dallas in there because that's where the author is from. So I'm like, 9 times out of 10, she writing from a city that she come from, if she's saying Texas. So that's the setting. The book was published May 25th, 2025. So this is a new release. It is a first read for me. My genre classifications for this book, which you guys know I like to do because sometimes I feel like the genre classifications from what the author's saying and what I think is a little bit different. But I think we agreed this time. So I went ahead and I put a dark urban romance. So that's what the classification is. The main characters in this book is Lyric and Blessing, but we are going to have some supporting cast. And why I added that little supporting cast on is because this book is actually wrote in second person. I really don't like books wrote in second person. That's like actually one of my personal picks, my personal pet peeves. I like books that's wrote in first person because it kind of give you like the true character thoughts. They're like, hey, I'm Tammie and I feel this way. When you read a book in second person, it's like, hey, this is Tammie and she feels. So it's a little bit different to me because it's like somebody's telling you the whole story versus when it's wrote in first person, the character is actually telling you the story. So I really don't really care for second person books, but I was reading this book and I got caught up in it and I was like, it is really good. And I was really interested to see what the love bomb was about. So I'm like, okay, let's give it a chance. So I did, and it was good. But moving on, moving on. Errors. There was maybe one or two errors in this book, but not a lot. No name mix-ups or no date mix-ups, just little small stuff I think we're going to talk about a little bit more into the report. But at this moment, yeah, it was only like two errors. Vocabulary, we didn't have any vocabulary for this book, and that's okay because we did get some other stuff from this book, so vocabulary was not one of them, but that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. Alrighty. Moving on to the summary. So I'm going to jump right into the summary for A Love Bomb, a Dark Urban Romance. All right. So the summary for this book goes as such. Lyric Warren wasn't searching for love. Survival was enough. Stuck in a toxic home, trapped in a dead end routine, and scarred from a heartbreak she never fully healed from, she was hanging on by a thread. When Ty appeared, older, wealthy, dangerous, and irresistible, with smooth words and heavy pockets, Ty knew exactly how to pull Lyric in. He showered her with gifts, whispered promises that felt like forever, and made her believe she was his only one. But behind the glitz and the glam, every gift came with a price. Every kiss carried chains, and every touch blurred the lines between pleasure and punishment. What looked like luxury quickly turned into captivity. Lyric finds herself tangled in a toxic love that burns hot but wounds deep. A twisted game of obsession, betrayal, and lust that she can't walk away from. Ty is the kind of man who can rearrange your entire world, your heart, your body, and your sanity. And once he has you, escape isn't easy. Love Bomb is a raw, explosive ride through the dark side of romance where love feels like war, passion cuts like a knife, and desire is as dangerous as it is addictive. This isn't happily ever after. This is the fallout. Okay, y'all ready? So, y'all already know how this one coming. Love Bomb. That's been a hot work keyword for the last couple of years within dating. So y'all can kind of guess how somewhat this book is going to go, but it's good. It's good. All right, right. All right. So jumping into the rest of the report so we can wrap this thing up. Was the book engaging? Yes, and it yes, it was very engaging, and this is a slow burn. So y'all gonna be like, get to it. But the slow burn, the build up, she did it just right. This one was definitely a slow burn for me. It got hot and heavy, of course, at like the 50, 60 mark. But that build up is great because it's going to give you a very great contrast. So yes, this book is definitely engaging. Was the plot predictable? So no, the plot was not predictable to me, but with our character being so young and making some of like the dumb choices that she end up making in the book, you know something bad is gonna happen. You just don't know what it is. So yeah, the plot was not predictable like 80, 90%, but you knew something bad was gonna happen. So yeah, the plot was not predictable. The book strengths to me was it was a very I feel like it was a very complete story, and it does have a message. I cannot give you guys the message right now in the report. We would do it in questions and discussions because if I give it to you right now, I'm going to give too much of the plot away. So hang on to your seat for that one. Okay. All right, moving on. The book weaknesses. All right, so the book weakness to me, I feel like a little bit in the middle of the story, the author kind of got lost. It kind of feel like she was going in a different way with the book, and then she kind of twisted it into something else. If you don't think about it that deeply, it's fine. So it might not be a weakness for you, but it was a weakness to me. It was a weakness to me, but it was very minor. It doesn't change the overall story and anything like that. Like I said, I still get this book 4.5 stars. So trust me, that is just because maybe I just wanted to write a weakness, but it's not really big. Does the book achieve its goal? I feel like the book absolutely achieves its goal of keeping you entertained and delivering a message. Again, we are not going to get too deep into the message because if I give the message now, then it's going to give too much of the plot away. So, again, we'll talk about that in questions and discussions. But absolutely, the book achieved its goal, and y'all going to be happy. Y'all going to be happy about it. Does the book make you care about the characters? Absolutely. Like we're going to get Blessing, and he is just such a sweet, strong young man. He is a young man, but he is carrying the weight of the world on him and just dependable and loving and just great. So it does make you care about Blessing because he's a great man. And then the book actually do make you care about Lyric too. So Lyric has some challenges that she is facing in the house. I'm not going to get that to you guys right now because we're going to have plenty of time to talk about it in questions and discussions. But you do feel for her with what she has going on in her life. And I will give you guys this one. She is such a people pleaser that you're going to want to take her under your little wing and be like, don't be like that. She's like the little sister that you just want to tell, like, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? So the book absolutely make you care about the characters. It definitely draws you in and you just want the best for these characters. Absolutely. Was the plot and the dialogue believable? Yes and yes. The dialogue was definitely on point. They talked like regular people. It wasn't nothing too like over the top or exaggerated or anything like that. Now the plot is still believable, but the plot is crazy. But the plot is still believable because stuff like this does happen in the everyday world. Like I said, I'm not giving it all away to you guys right now, right? So I'm not gonna get that part to you guys. That is something question discussions after you read the book. But yes, the plot, stuff like this does happen. It really do. Alrighty, guys, inaccuracies. So this goes back to like kind of like what I mentioned about the era a little bit earlier. It says, does this book have any inaccuracies? And so this the one that just stuck out so blatant to me. It was a part where they had to describe a scene over the course of probably like one day. Arthur, she described the character's hair as three different styles. First, she was like, she got grabbed by her braids. When she woke up in the morning, she flat ironed her bob. And at the end of the night, her ponytail was all messed up. And I was just like, wait a minute now. So that was one that just like really kind of stuck out to me. And I'm just like, we can't let that one go. So yeah, it was just a little inaccurate right there. Alrighty, and then last but not least, we are going to talk about our trigger warnings for this book, which is a lot. So as I mentioned in the beginning of this episode, this one y'all gonna cry. This one is going to send you on an emotional roller coaster. Well, listen, both of the books today. I'm sorry, both of them gonna send you on an emotional roller coaster. But talking about this one for right now, the trigger warnings for this one is a little deep. We're gonna have suicide, we have mental health, we have domestic violence, and then we have murder. So this one was a little deep. So, I give you guys the trigger warnings because sometimes you don't feel some of the stuff in the book and you don't want to read a book like that. You might want to be happy. You might not want to get this one. Next episode might be for you. But that's the trigger warnings for that one. Oh, guys, just to throw in there really quickly, this one was not a standalone. So I actually Googled standalones and this one came up. I read it. It actually kind of closed out almost like a standalone to me. And then it was not. The second book is not out as of right now, but for this book, for me, I feel like it's complete for me. If you like this story and you end up reading this book, absolutely go ahead and read book 2. I'm not sure when the author will release book 2, but as of right now, I am comfortable with saying this was a great story. It had a great message. I give it 4.5 stars. So even though it is not a standalone and the second book is not out yet, I still stick by that. Love Bomb, A Dark Romance by Misha Mish. I give this book 4.5 stars. I recommend you, girl. Because I'm not going to keep you up, guys. You know how we like to do around here. We talk about books, nothing else, and we keep it moving. So our second book of the evening is When My Soul Met a Thug. Standalone, for sure. Standalone, for sure, by Jessica Ann Watkins. So, okay, guys. So, yes. Now, this is a reread for me. This one is definitely a reread for me. This was one of those books where I was like, great message, great storyline, great plot. I do not mind rereading this book again. So, of course, I gave it 5 stars because it meets all the criteria that I say a 5-star book should meet. Full story and rereading capabilities. It hit those 5 stars to me. So, this book setting is in Chicago, Illinois. That's where I'm from. Okay. It was actually published a while ago, December 19th, 2018. So I want to say that this book was originally then, of course, it was a fresh read to me. But like I said, sometimes I go down like my book history and I'm like, if it was good, I'm like, oh, let me bring it to you guys. This one was good. Like I say, it's gonna be a tear jerker. It's a full story. It definitely had reread capabilities, and the message is there. So this is one of those timeless books. Even though the book was from 2018, it kind of mentioned some fashion stuff from like 2018, but it's not enough to make you put the book down and be like, I don't want to read that because it's just too outdated. It's not like that or anything. I don't believe the speech is like 2018 or anything like that. Maybe like a couple of words. But again, it's not like, oh, let me put this down. It's just too outdated to me. The genre classifications of this book, I went ahead and I do agree. It is an urban romance. So nothing there, no add-ons there. Main characters in this story is Coop, True, Remy, and Angel. Y'all. Oh my God. Because I'm flashing back. When I be doing the report for y'all, I be flashing. So it just be like, try not to give it all away, right? Okay. Vocabulary. We didn't have any vocabulary for this book. And again, that's okay. Errors. It was no errors in this book. So by it being a 2018 and definitely a reread, it may get reproofed or whatever the case may be. Or Arthur Murray just did a very good job the first time around. So we is not going to knock her in that sense. So it was no errors. Now we're going to jump right in. And so my summary, and then we're going to do the rest of the report, and we're going to wrap this thing up. Alrighty, guys. So this one is When My Soul Met a Thug, a standalone by Jessica Ann Watkins. True thought divorce would set her free, but instead it threw her into the arms of Coop, a ruthless hustler with charm as dangerous as his past. He's arrogant, womanizing, and the last thing she should love. Yet he's the only one who makes her feel alive. Still, the truth she carries could destroy him and drag him back into the streets that nearly killed him. Coop has always lived for the hustle. Money was his mistress, the game is his only love until True. She cracks open the icy walls around his heart, only to break it and disappear. He swears he's done with her, but fate has other plans. Across town, Remy has wasted 10 years loving Banks through lies, betrayal, and broken promises. When he finally slips a ring on her finger, it comes with a blow that shatters her world. Left her with nothing but pain. She doesn't know how to pick up the pieces until she meets True and Coop. Three broken hearts, one tangled fate, and a love story dangerous enough to change everything. Yeah, and that's it. That is When My Soul Met a Thug standalone. So we're going to get into the rest of the report so you guys can pick one of these books and meet me back here next week. Alrighty. So was the book engaging? So yes, this book is very engaging. So True, she has a secret. She does not tell us what the secret is, but she gives the reader hints. She does not tell the other character in the book, which is Coop, her love interest. She does not tell him. So we kind of sort of know there's something wrong, but we don't know. He does not know at all. So engaging, absolutely. You like, what's going to happen? Then we have our other main character, woman main character, Remy. She is in a toxic, horrible relationship. Like the summary just said, she's been with this man for 10 years. He is a cheater, heavy cheater, and she's been with him 10 years and stressing my girl out. Every time something seemed like the wind blow the wrong way, she think he up to no good because she's just so traumatized, PTSD from this man cheating on her. So this book absolutely keeps you engaged. We got two storylines, very different going on, but very juicy. And yes, juicy. It's going to keep you on the edge of your seat. Okay. Was the plot predictable? The plot was not predictable because this author, what she wrote in this book, it definitely throws you for a curve. It is something that you most times do not see in a book. I can't say no more than that because I don't want to give it away. But this plot was not predictable because it's very rare that an author goes about a story this way. And I'm going to elaborate on that next week. I'm going to elaborate on that more next week when we're doing questions and discussions. But for right now, I'm going to say no. No, this plot's not predictable. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Book strengths. So the book strengths to me was it was a full story for it to be a standalone. And y'all know how I always say for a standalone, if the author give us backstory, middle story, climax, plot, end of the story, great conclusion, and it's still a standalone, that's a great writer. That's a great story to me. So this book actually hit all of those. So that was definitely one of the great strengths to me. The other one was it was a fresh storyline. Even still, I still have not read a book like this. And I told you guys, first episode, I have been reading for the last 15 plus years strong, multiple books a month, multiple books a year, and I still haven't read something like this. So the fresh storyline and a different perspective that she has with her characters and the way that everything go, absolutely a strength. No doubt about it. The book weaknesses, none. None. I can't even, it made me cry. If you want to call that a book weakness and hold it against the author, it made me cry. But no, seriously, guys, it's no book weakness. Complete story. So I guess y'all can kind of tell where I'm going with my rating on this one. Y'all know. Okay. Does the book achieve its goal? Absolutely. The book achieves its goal of keeping you entertained to the end. And it also has another great message. Again, I can't elaborate on the messages right now in the report episodes because it's going to get a plot too much away for next week. So we are going to talk about all of the messages next week. But the book absolutely achieved its goal on keeping us entertained to the end and delivering a very powerful message that we're going to talk about next week. Did the book make you care about the characters? Absolutely. We have somebody that's going through a health crisis, is going to draw you in. It's going to be like, what's going on? I want to know. Like I said, the secret, she kind of hints it to us, but we don't know. And then the character that she's dating, Coop, he does not know at all. Then on the other hand, we have Remy, who is in this relationship with this sorry sack of bones ass nigga. And like I said, if the wind blow wrong, this girl is up in arms trying to see if this man is at another woman's house. So you is invested. You is invested in these women's lives, and it's great. It's great. It's great. It's great. It's great. Was the plot and dialogue believable? Yes and yes. So again, I don't feel like the dialogue was like over the top or anything outlandish. Again, it was 2018, so you might see a couple words, a couple of slang words from 2018 or something like that, but not something that will make you stop reading the book. And then the plot, the plot, I would definitely say yes and no in a way, but not no in a bad way. So it happens. It rarely happens with Black people, but it happens. And that's all I can say. That's all I can say. So yes, that's all I can say. That's all I can say. Inaccuracy. So it was no inaccuracies in this book. Like I said, the author did a very good job. It wasn't too many errors. It was no errors. I'll take that back. So it was no errors. There was no inaccuracies. The book was proofed very well. So kudos to the author. Trigger warnings. We have attempted suicide in there. It's not too bad, but it's there. it's there. So, and a little depression, a little mental health like depression or whatever is there as well. So it's not too much, but it's there. Like I said, these books is gonna be some tear jerkers. And that wraps up When My Soul Met a Thug by Jessica Ann Watkins. In a review, I rate you 5 stars and I recommend you, girl. All right, guys. So that's been our episode today. I will not hold you because you have some homework to do. We had 2 great books. Like I said, it's going to take you on an emotional roller coaster. You're gonna cry. I'm sorry I did this one to you. You're gonna cry. You know what? And I love when my books are on theme with each other, and they be happening by accident. But both of the books are very emotional. They have very deep messages. They're very kind of similar in a way where, like I said, we have messages and they're very emotional. So that's been our episode for today. If you want to write in with your reviews or your opinions of the books that I have reviewed so far and want to read on the podcast, you can email me at ts_tammiepod@yahoo.com. Authors, you can also use that same email if you would like to ask me to review your book or your poem. Again, that is ts_tammy pod@yahoo.com. If you guys want to get a closer feel for me, you can follow me at my Instagram, and that's topshelf_Tammie. And on TikTok is Top Shelf Tammie. I'll be lit just a little bit. Okay, guys. So if you're watching on YouTube, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn your notifications on. I have released episode every Thursday just in time for your weekend.